Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. We have a Smithfield battle. Thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the link in the description where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do and advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. So, server size today, it's 190 right now. It's December 22nd, about 3 p.m. Eastern time. Number's going to rise, probably get closer to 230, 240 by the end of this round. Imbalance, though, it's 7 towards the CSA side. When you consider artillery into the mix, Union has 9 on it, and Confederates have 12. So overall, that infantry in balance is 4. Your CSA officers for today, you have Gypsy, Simple Joe, Ian Tolton, Cavalry Enjoyer, and for the artillery, you have Goody Buddy and Fat Man, whereas on the Union side, you have Colt, Andrew the Esoteric, you have Stannis, Senior Daz, and for the artillery, you have Traitor Terminator. So, Smithfield, this is my first look at it. It looks like it's a CSA defensive map. You can see the artillery they've got on top of the hill, and Union's playing aggressive, trying to hit the CSA defensive line that is holding on this straight fence.
They're coming, they're coming. Hold, gentlemen.
CSA going up and outward to countercharge Union. A little surprising there, but all of Union didn't go in together. A good chunk of Union stayed back. Oh my goodness, the artillery for CSA, which is mostly on point. We saw. Looks like Union artillery is right to our right, I'm guessing anyways. So Senior Daz trying to go as far left as he can to flank CSA.
Good job, boss. Go in, bears down.
Glory, brothers, glory.
Use your shot, then you go in. Use your shot.
On the line.
We're
We're holding, they're getting wiped. Yep, wipe them, wipe them.
Hold the line, boys, hold the
And
line.
CSA is kind of able to defeat the Union in detail here. And since the first day that these new maps dropped, they've updated the tickets, so they're supposedly a lot easier. At least that's my understanding. This is the third day since these maps have been released, so obviously metas are still adjusting and whatnot as people learn what the maps are. And this is my first reaction to Smithfield, so obviously we saw the out of bounds. It's basically where the CSA line ends over on that front. Circling over here, how far into the cornfield can the Union go? Can they seriously? Oh my goodness, they can go so far this way. Hold up. Is it still in bounds here? Okay, this is a sick map. I don't know why Union decided to push out on that side. Maybe it's because they have their artillery over there. Actually, their artillery is located here. Maybe Union's not spawning on the other one, but I don't know. This angle that Union can attack from through the corn and then getting this kind of angle here, that just feels like it'd be a great attack angle for Union. Maybe it didn't work, but regardless, as time progresses, we'll see. This is actually a neat little map here. I like it. So, Union taking some time to reform. They lost that attack. They're down on tickets. They have some form of ticket advantage on the CSA in terms of raw numbers, but we don't exactly know what that imbalance is. We do know what the percentages of tickets are, though, for each team in the current state, and Union's halfway through battle ready, and CSA is almost a third of the way through battle ready.
Check when ready, guys. Check when ready. I'll give yourself 39.
Check.
So 39 minutes, I think I heard that down on where the players are. Looks like that's when they're going to go over again. I mean, coming from this angle, Union kind of has this hill. You can see they're holding behind. Their deflated CSA artillery just overshot. But at least what's nice for Union is they can use this little hill here to shield their movements. And it's kind of a steep hill relative to everything else. So it looks like 3 or 2 Union companies are going left. You do have 1 Union company at least going right. And you can see CSA in the distance on that straight fence there are starting to shift. Some going up to the artillery. And maybe it's to react to what the Union is doing there. Looks like the 2nd Union company is, I don't know what they're trying to do here. They're kind of just, a bunch of guys are just standing around here. Not necessarily knowing what to do. And some CSA have actually started pushing up from those straight fence positions. Maybe it's to keep engaging with the Union here. I don't know if I necessarily like that or not. But regardless, that's where they're at.
Whoa.
Yeah, CSA wants to take the fight to them in this open field. These shootouts are generally a 1-to-1 trade, but there's going to be a lot of casualties in this close area of fighting that's starting to happen here.
They're really pushing up. This will be to their detriment.
It's true.
Indeed.
CSA does have that nice
Seems
snake
quite
fence, and
even.
they've pushed out from that nice
But a
position.
cool burn.
Because the thing is where CSA is fighting right now on this front. They're holding kind of in an open field. Sure, they have a defilade. That hill goes downward and they have cover, but Union also has a defilade and they have some rocks and whatnot as well. That one Union company that pushed up on this side, they're getting
we gotta move into the
a
right.
real nice angle here.
Fire.
Except for artillery.
Artillery. Zone, bitch. I'm up.
So they could swing around right to engage with, I think that's 2 CSA flags. If they wanted to. But time will tell. One of those CSA companies, or 2 of them, fell back onto that straight fence. It's intriguing. If Union could spawn in on 2 batteries, I'm surprised they're not spawning in on the one over there. Obviously, there's a lot more action there. And when you're holding here, you got a nice little angle of the point. But I feel like Union already could do a good chunk of damage if they spawned in over there as well. Because if they're spawning on those guns, they'd have a nice angle. CSA's moving to the center here to kind of get a flank on the Union. That Union company, though, is going to try to go in the rear of these CSA guys.
Gentlemen, advance.
CSA not
Line
really
right here.
realizing they're
Firewall
about to
direct front.
flank.
Firewall
the
direct
company.
front. Firewall direct front.
And now they throw the lead. That Union company positioned right behind. And if both Union sides here kind of collapse, they could get a great chance to wipe these guys up. They're only down by a little bit on tickets, the Union is. Honestly, you could argue it's dead even.
Gentlemen, we got a flag down. If you see it down.
But CSA starting to turn and run as they see Colts guys who are now charging into them. They're getting some nice
Hey, you
kills
fucking
here.
killed my general, bitch.
Especially as those CSA guys are focused on retreating instead of necessarily fighting your opponent. The moment you yell retreat, most guys are going to be like, okay, how do I get out of here? Not thinking about trying to stab the next guy in melee. So they're going to get a nice wipe. They will get CSA flag, only temporarily though. And one of these Union companies is starting to shift down the hill to get close to the CSA. They definitely outnumber these guys and could try to charge them out. But if CSA reinforcements came in, that could prevent. But regardless, that little charge there from Colt basically forced CSA down to engage.
Not yet, I wouldn't say.
And Union's ahead by a little bit on tickets. See, have we gone out? We're still at the same number relatively. So, yeah, you can see CSA starting to clump up. Got the reinforcements. Everyone still has their flags. This is a neat map. I like it. CSA has one big old defensive line. Union can't really outflank it. They got to kind of go at it. But they do have this corner. They've used it once. And that CSA infantry company we saw go that way, it looks like they've returned to this side of the map. CSA pushing forward past the straight fence again.
Spread out the line.
Spread this shit out, boys.
I see a cannon. I don't know if it's being made.
And Union is pushing up. They're going to get some nice shots here.
1,500 acres of Hawaii Island.
I don't know if they see him, though, through the bushes. Union throwing lead, though, from the right side of where we're looking into where CSA's holding. And CSA is going to move up to try to counter.
Spread it out. You cannot be close.
Spread it out, boys.
Hold fire, gentlemen. Hold
Don't be
fire,
standing
hold
behind
fire.
anybody.
Prepare to charge, boys. Who's with me?
Single rank.
Wait, what? Don't charge in, please. No. Oh.
Welcome to pubs.
We got the CSA company trying to turn the flank here.
Fire!
And they got a nice little flank there. I didn't kill too many. I don't know why they're charging, though. Your goal as a defender is to have that clock tick down to 0 and to avoid casualties, but CSA's taking high risk as they move in.
Turn around immediately. Turn around. They're behind us. Turn around. Turn around. Behind us. Behind us. Behind us. Behind us. Behind us.
And you do have some of those Union companies that turned around or kind of a flanking maneuver here. Both sides drop to engage.
Easy tickets. Easy tickets.
Union artillery getting a few shots in, but it looks like CSA is about to be completely encircled, potentially losing one of their flags in the process. All of their flags. One Union company, that's why I said one, is focused over there. So, in the end, CSA, I think, is going to be losing all of their flags. And for the first time, that pop-up is actually showing up for an attacker.
Hey, we got revs on the back.
So, very risky charge. You can tell what happened. Looking at the tickets is about a half stage difference right now. You got a couple of guys that stayed alive during that charge. They are running up to grab those flags. Union's just trying to take out the few CSA that are still respawning on those K-Sounds. Circling back over here, that one Union company that leaked off. They are charging CSA already.
Hell yeah, put him out of his misery. I'll help you.
Nah, I'm joking. Don't go.
No, it's friendly. It's friendly. Charge that already, boys. Charge
So they're getting some nice tickets here. Bold move from CSA. It's so high risk to charge out as a defender. Very high risk. It did not pay off there. It did not need to be done. That was not a situation to do that. You got to play a little more conservatively as a defender. And if you're down on tickets, you're trying to find a way to catch up. I think trying to charge your opponent out is a valuable option. Still very risky, and you could probably lose, but in some situations, you got to find some way to catch up on tickets. But CSA was doing fine, and now they're about to have taken losses, down 3-4 on morale stage.
Jimmy, no!
So, Union company that leaked off, they were able to get CSA artillery. CSA has recovered, looks like 3 of their flags. 1 flag is deep into Union artillery. So they will most likely not get that back unless they charge again. And for all we know, they could do that. So we'll see what happens as time progresses. 15 minutes almost into the round. And Union's taking their time in their efforts to reform. Union, that company that leaked off, they did not lose their flag. So Union has pretty much all their flags. CSA collecting most of them in the end. And the waves moving out from CSA main spawn, which we haven't really seen where the spawns are yet for each side. CSA is over here, kind of a little ways into that woods. Not by a significant amount, but they're in there. And then Union looks like it's somewhere behind their artillery. Not that far, though. So CSA pulls off this straight fence. Union pushing up to take those positions. Now, in terms of the next CSA defensive line, they can kind of hold by those little rocks there, but that's not terribly big. You do have the artillery that you can hold on, but I think what CSA is going to try to hold on is the snake fence that pushes out to this side. How deep into the woods can either side get here?
Spread it out.
They can get pretty deep over here, it looks like. So Union could try to charge this out. There's plenty of room for them to charge in and flank CSA. It looks like only half of CSA is defending that snake fence. The other half are by their artillery.
Aim directly at the fence. Aim it low.
One flag down, one flag down. Get up, someone. Get that flag up, boys. Get that flag up. Thank you, Anna.
Shoot through that fence that they're hiding behind.
You're doing well, boys.
And more of the CSA starting to shift down. CSA slowly kind of getting outnumbered. You do still have this one Union company that's really been leaking off this entire time. And it's really harassing CSA artillery. Colt and his guys moving out that way. And they're going to be able to get some nice couple kills because actually there is a CSA infantry company moving in to stop them. I don't think they have a flag though. And they are outnumbered. So it's because that CSA flag out there, once someone dies with the flag, there's a 5-minute despawn timer. And then it'll despawn, someone can spawn back in and pick it up, so they won't have it for another 2 or 3 minutes. You do see 2 of those Union flags going away from the main Union line and towards the center here.
At the quick time, guys. Even slower.
I don't know if they're trying to think that we're going to respawn our team on CSA's left flank and just destroy them from there. Because it's definitely a possibility if Union has a company with a flag over here already. Which, if we zoom in here, actually looks like they don't have a flag over here. So, looks like Union's trying to shift with their flags over here. This is something I wish we'd see a little more, is teams hitting their opponent on one side and then sending their flags to the other side. Obviously, it's a risk sending your flags it alone, but I think it is a nice opportunity to, again, hit your opponent on one side and have your team immediately show up on the other side of the battlefield.
It's so difficult for me to jump this fence.
Union's charging in. They mostly pulled off on that side. I don't know if they didn't like the amount of shots that they were taking. But regardless, CSA's forced them off the position through a shootout. And meanwhile, Union, the rest of their team, is charging out the CSA artillery. Again, more Union pulling back, though, and they're starting to shift around, maybe going to assist their friendlies who are successful for now. The problem with CSA is you have Union guys on the point here. There's no good point for CSA to hold on point. They can hold down here on that snake fence, but they're shooting at an upward angle, and that's not an easy shot. And it's probably off point, although we don't necessarily know. I'm assuming so, especially since CSA is still losing the point. And I guess CSA could try to hit from this side, but that's where Union's really coming from, so they'd have to charge Union out. So I guess they have the caissons if they want to get closer to point. But Union hopefully will play this smart.
Alright, we're gonna up and over.
If they wait till CSA hits breaking, they can capture that point and win automatically. If they capture right now, they'd have to hold it for 7 minutes. And they are up by half a morale stage. You don't want to cap that point. CSA retake, and then they regain half a morale stage. So CSA could try to turtle if they want, try to force Union to cap. However, that's very hard to do in pubs. Because if everyone, I mean every single person is not on page, it is impossible to do a turtle. Reason being, if you have like 5-10 guys who run out away from your team and are getting out of line deaths, killing tickets for your team, that's slowly going to add up and force you down. And especially with artillery being right on point, for a lot of these drill camp maps, these artillery guys are going to keep spawning in, and it's going to be a nice little ticket feed for Union. So CSA's made their way out of that snake fence position, at least 2 of the CSA companies. We'll see what they have planned, but they're just holding back. I don't know if they're trying to go maybe outflank the Union here, push down the snake fence. But if they are going to try to push, they really need to do it as a team, especially because Union is basically clumped up as one whole team except for one company who's located themselves further over there. You want numbers in a charge, especially as a defender. You want at least even numbers. You can't be down guys. At this point, you don't have tickets to lose. You need to be gaining on the ticket front. So you need as many guys as possible.
Stan, his coat is left. His coat is left. You can get reinforcements there.
So Union pushing up to take a volley. Looks like CSA set themselves up kind of a nice little defilade so that when Union comes over, they take their shots at them. And most of Union, they're pulling back kind of towards the straight fence now. Union's kind of running around, but Gypsy's going to charge his guys in. Only a couple of Union stayed back, so I mean, all these little ticket things are going to add up.
These Rambos, yeah.
So that's a good few kills that CSA is going to get. It's not going to be enough for them to come back, but it is a start. And shortly, we're going to see Union taking losses. Union has seemed kind of a little worried about, I don't know. I'm shocked they pulled off the position. Maybe they didn't like where they were at, but it just seems weird to throw away that position when you have a nice spot. Maybe they thought they were going to get defeated in a charge and didn't want to lose their flag so far forward, especially when they're winning as is. But Colts pushing forward. Maybe Union's about to charge here.
Alright, boys. Keep moving, keep moving.
I don't know why they pulled off now.
Boys,
Just
hold
charge
here,
back
hold
in.
here. Enemy fire on the snake
Maybe they didn't think CSA was right there and wanted to try to find him so they could keep the pressure up in shots. But
Again. That seemed to have worked.
CSA trying to pull off, artillery
Let them
hitting,
push,
presence
Steve. We're
falling.
defending it.
CSA kind of spreading out here
That's my
as
bad. I didn't know
Union
how to
pushes
play this
down
map.
those fence, and they're getting a good couple of kills again. The Union company over there is just having some fun shooting out over there. The 210.
Underneath the Christmas tree.
And Union continuing to push through. How far can they go? We don't necessarily know.
What are you doing?
Don't know the out of bounds line for either team.
Nice shot.
But CSA is holding
up,
back
boys.
in the definite spot that they were a moment ago because they thought it worked well for them.
Don't overextend here.
Both sides about to hit their next morale stage.
He's trying to hit everybody. On the snake fence. There you go.
Zooming in over here, I mean, there's only one Union company and one CSA company. Down on the snake fence, there's another CSA company. Up here on artillery, looks like a smaller company for CSA though. So, any second now, CSA is about to hit break and Union can cap and win that. They're up by a morale stage, so Union's probably going to pull this one out in the end. It's a question of how quick is that going to happen.
Is that you, Colin?
Is that
Colin, is that you, Colin? Rise up, rise up, rise up.
What's up, Snatcher?
Because CSA is on point, but it's mostly because of those guys here. These guys are not necessarily on point. But Union starting to maybe emerge, going over that snake fence, and they're going to try to charge through. Already hit him in the braking. Let's see.
On me. Keep moving, keep moving.
And there they go.
Sprint, boys, sprint. Keep moving, keep moving.
Colts moving his guys in, trying to take the point.
Hold here, on this line, on this line.
And there goes CSA in the braking. You can see Union and CSA on the far side just kind of shooting off at each other. Union more on that side just trying to provide a distraction for their friendlies to cap this point. CSA will probably turn, though, towards point and charge shortly. Union on the other side distracting. Union's really distracting CSA, letting their friendlies cap this point. You have CSA, though, starting to break off. That snake fence, CSA right, they're starting to turn and move to the point. And the Union company on this side is retreating. An odd time to do that. And you can see CSA over here have kind of turned and started shooting towards the point. CSA already trying to assist in the matter. Union dropped, taking losses.
Make sure you got Bandit on
Somehow
board.
CSA is not winning the numbers battle on point. A little surprising. Union company on the right side of your screen is starting to move into assist in the capping, and here comes CSA going to start that charging. Union pulling out, wanting to preserve the flag.
All the way to the snake fence, boys. All the way to the snake fence.
So Union meeting back at the snake fence. CSA kind of spread out, trickling in on this charge. And this is not going to be good for CSA tickets. They're still trying to trickle in.
Yeah, let them push us. Keep fire, boys. Yeah, keep fire, keep fire.
And the other CSA company is now rolling up on the right, going to try to charge in. That's really been the story of today, is CSA charging.
On the right, enemy fire, shoot them down.
They're coming right. They're coming right. Shift right. Shift right. Shift right. They're coming right. Shift right.
Boys, cancel moves. Go right a bit.
CSA starting to push through a little bit. Union keeping the
Boys,
flag
if you go
smartly
low,
in the
go right a
backside.
bit. Go right, boys. Boys, brace right.
And CSA is starting to overwhelm. One Union flag is down right now. They have all 4 flags here. Actually, it looks like those Merry Christmas flags.
Boys, you're holding well. Oh,
the fake ones. Alp's trying to get the flag for
holding
Union.
anything.
Union might not lose any flags from this. little retreat effort that they have going right now. Looks like they're going to protect all of their flags. So, well done, the Union. Union's still up by a morale stage, a little more than that, but
Regroup here on this fence. Regroup here on this fence. Start shooting into them. Flags.
Union's going to pull back, reform. CSA doing the same.
Go to the... No, hold the fence.
Watch out for that red, watch out for that red. Got it, boys, don't worry, don't worry.
Yeah, keep firing.
You could see that snake fence kind of break there with that canister shot. Snake fence destruction. It's a little things. Very nice to see.
Keep fire, boys.
Put them into last stand.
So
We're
Union
doing pretty good.
having plenty of time. You could hear him, the officer there, get him to last stand.
They had it, sir.
They get him to that. CSA
It's
can't
okay, it's
respawn
okay.
at that point.
Keep fire.
Boys, you are doing well.
Keep fire over here. Keep shooting.
Sir, the flags are doing well.
And one Union
The
company has pushed up on the CSA's right. CSA is really pulling back outside of this one company who's with the artillery who's now being shot at.
Get him down, boys!
They got a nice little approach here.
Bucket, breakthrough loads, best start, up and over, give 'em steel, boys, for Chris Kringle.
Up and over!
Charge!
Charge! Let's go! Send it!
God save
With the
Christmas!
With the music for Christmas!
And Senior Dad is going to charge his guys up into this one CSA company who Simple Joe is telling his guys to retreat way too late. You'll see officers tell their guys to retreat right as the enemy line is hitting them. And that has never worked. It never works because you tell your guys to retreat, and instead of trying to engage in melee, they retreat. So while you're retreating, the enemy is actively stabbing your guys. So your guys are dying, trying to retreat, while your enemy is not. While your enemy's getting a bunch of kills. So CSA push out. They're trying to retake their ground, help their friendly company that got wiped. They're about to hit last stand any second. Union's also pushed out, which is maybe why CSA also pushed forward.
No, that's the whole second half of the team just came charging.
Independent fire on the caisson. Boys.
And there you
on
go.
the caisson.
CSA hit last stand. They die, they don't come back. Artillery raining down.
That's an enemy, thank you. Stay my leg.
So Union's already starting to take the point. A lot of CSA kind of running around point. I mean, CSA is trying to hunt down that Union flag, which is getting out of there very well. El Captain Presidente.
Coming to the right.
So Union holding on the caissons, engaging into shootout with CSA. A couple skirmishes and melee is happening around the area, but most of the team for both sides is sitting and engaging in the shootout.
with a candy cane. No, it's not. It's one of our guys, a candy cane.
Hello, Fred.
So last second presents being given to the CSA is kind of like I don't know, like you lost, but here's a nice little gift in the meantime.
Those presents are for the children. They're for the children.
Presents and blankets to the children of Wales this year. While they suffer in the valleys.
And Union is slowly but surely taking this point. Union shifting over. You have the last main CSA wave moving in from their main spawn. Union does drop to breaking. Some CSA starting to trickle out, but unfortunately for them, it is going to be all over here.
Race, boys, race.
So,
Taste my candy.
good win there from Union. This really came down to that one charge that CSA did early on as they pushed up towards where the Union was at. I mean, they charged in, got wiped, lost, what was it, half a morale stage in an instant. I mean, outside of that, they kept things even. Things started to really get further and further apart after the fact. But well done, the Union. They held that charge. They were able to kind of harass CSA on both sides and just keep the pressure up. And that led to them winning by over a morale stage and tickets. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first look at Smithfield. I think this is a great map. And if you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have our Discord, merch, and many more links in the description. And we will see you all in the next one. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night.